US President Donald Trump's meeting with Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir at the White House has marked a striking shift in Washington's tone. So, once critical of Pakistan, Trump now, called the two leaders great leaders and signaling a new phase in ties. So, to talk more on this, I have senior journalist and global affairs expert D. Ravi Kanth with me. Thank you for joining me, sir. My first question is: Trump had previously branded Pakistan as a terrorist safe haven, and what explains this sharp turnaround in his approach to Pakistan?
Thank you. This meeting took place yesterday, Friday morning, and both the Prime Minister and the Chief of Pakistan's Army Staff were invited to the White House, though we are told they were kept for a few minutes waiting before the meeting. Uh, More importantly, the meeting has to be seen in the current context. There has been a remarkable change in the Trump administration's second term with Pakistan as compared to its earlier positions during the first term, where the Trump administration and even the Biden administration were very having frosty relations with Pakistan and very cold towards several Pakistan initiatives because of then ongoing Afghanistan war. But things have changed dramatically over the last several months. There have been also all kinds of contacts, and more so this war that took place, the short war between Pakistan and India and Pakistan, the Operation Sindoor, has brought Donald Trump into the center stage, claiming any number of times, including yesterday, day before yesterday, at the UN General Council meeting, that he solved this war between Pakistan and India. And then there are other strategic considerations. This meeting also took place in the context of the bilateral defense treaty that was signed between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Uh, Besides the issues that came up there are, security and counter cooperation, counterterrorism, and acquiring, perhaps also it must have figured about the acquisition of or retaking the Bagram airport from Afghanistan, the Taliban government. So, these are things which could have certainly talked about, and it appears as though Pakistan is upstaging India in its meetings and relations with the United States under Trump administration's second term, more so at a time when India has been apparently making efforts, according to news reports, to have a Trump Modi meeting again. So,
So, if you don't mind, we'll come back to the India portion
yeah,
of this
yeah,
equation later. And
right,
let's talk more about this. Actually, this meeting followed a recent US Pakistan trade deal. So, how
right.
central are economic interests to this sudden diplomatic warmth between the countries?
Yeah, that is true. Apart from the war, trade relations have suddenly been taking an upshot. Uh, Pakistan and US signed a trade agreement wherein goods from Pakistan will only be subjected to 19% tariff. And more than trade, US also has been helpful for securing the IMF loan, and despite opposition from India. So trade relations suddenly seem to be, taking an upward trend. But how far this trend will continue, because Pakistan is not a competitor as compared to the other countries barring few items of textiles and clothing, leather items, and some of the toys. But besides that, I mean, Pakistan does make large number of footballs. So that could be an interesting thing because the World Cup is going to take place there. So the trade part is a very insignificant item as compared to other relations. The bigger game is the uh, evolving strategic puzzle in South Asia, wherein Pakistan, I mean, considering Pakistan for counter-terrorism assistance, and also, Pakistan telling Donald Trump that you're the man of peace, and it has already, nominated Trump for a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
So Pakistan seems to be playing its cards very well and somewhat positively. But how far these things will really change, you know, things on the ground in Pakistan, because the country is certainly having severe economic problems, and its economy, according to several experts, is in dire straits. So, to what extent will Trump administration go? And also, you have to see the strategic Bitcoin reserve, which Pakistan and US are seem to be pursuing. They had some kind of understanding on this, and this is an issue in which we are told that the Donald Trump's second son is deeply involved in it. So Pakistan, of course, if it starts initiating these kind of schemes, they are definitely not liked by the IMF. The IMF has very strong views against this Bitcoin business, but will IMF be able to stand up to its comments? It's doubtful because it's under US, US has a kind of indirect and tacit final say on whatever happens on the bitcoins.
Trump highlighted Pakistan's role in Afghanistan and the Bagram Air Base, like you mentioned when you were answering to my first question, and also, like you said, Pakistan's army chief Munir has visited the U.S. Twice recently, and even nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. So, how significant is the military dimension in shaping this new U.S. Pakistan engagement? So is this military dimension what you mentioned when you use the word strategic developments?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, that's just a part of this long strategic game that Pakistan seems to be playing at this point of time. The military dimension is very important too, but there has been in the past, Pakistan and US had very strong collaboration on defense side. In fact, US used to be the big supplier of advanced aircrafts like F-16 and all, but that relationship got little undermined following the issues of terrorism and the Bin Laden issue and several other things. The humiliation the Americans suffered in Afghanistan. So during this period, the military relationship got leaned more towards China. With China, Pakistan has strong military ties and assistance, and it's a collaboration which is really advancing rapidly. It is in this context that what US and China, Pakistan will do remains to be seen, because will US be supplying arms to Pakistan? A big question. But US might be, helping Pakistan to, I mean, in relations with the other Middle East countries, particularly Saudi Arabia, which has heavy dependence on US for arms and all. So Pakistan could be providing what you call the necessary human resources side. I mean, particularly in helping Saudi Arabia. So there are different dimensions to this whole, strategic relationship on the defense side as well.
Okay. So any US-Pakistan, friendship has traditionally raised concerns in India. So how
Yeah.
might this warming of ties between Washington and Islamabad, affect India's global positioning and its strategic equations with the US?
So what is happening on the south in the South Asia among India and Pakistan uh, is something that needs to be put in the context. The Indian government and India current government seems to be unduly obsessed with whatever happens between Pakistan and the United States. We have to reckon with the fact that Pakistan is a small economy as compared to India, and India is a huge economy. But this government, the current government, has turned this whole India Pakistan into an end game in itself, while uh, help I mean enabling the West. In fact, it was the Western agenda that to constantly trigger off these tensions between, and we seem to be unnecessarily become a pawn in this Western game, where we are completely obsessed with whatever happens between Pakistan and US. We should be much more in our own strategic puzzle, jigsaw puzzle. Pakistan should be just one item, instead of being the core, one of the principal items. So the puzzle has so many other things which need to be taken into consideration. And for example, Pakistan has very strong relations with China. And now we are trying to improve our relations with China. So that should not affect us as well. And even in the relations with the US, whatever US is willing to do for Pakistan, that's not going to, in any way upstage or, undermine our own importance. I mean, India's importance. India is a huge economy. It's claimed to be a 4 trillion economy, the third or fourth largest economy. So why should we unnecessarily jump into whatever happens with Pakistan and between Pakistan and US? We are now a 4 trillion economy, so we have to put this this US Pakistan relationship as one item in our strategic jigsaw puzzle, instead of constantly highlighting this as as the core element.
Okay. Thank you for your time, sir. Viewers, for more such interviews, stay tuned with the Federal.
Okay, thank you.